57 years ago, the very first 911 call changed the course of emergency services forever. Today we're revisiting that pivotal moment, the small Alabama town where history was made, and the lasting impact it continues to have. Join me as we honor this milestone right here on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to another episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety, where we bring you the latest updates, insights, and expert advice on the issues that impact public safety professionals and the communities that they serve. I'm your host, Fletch, an ENP and Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. Let's dive right in. On February 16, 1968, in a small southern town called Haleyville, Alabama, history was made when the nation's very first 911 call was placed by Alabama Speaker of the House, Rankin Fight. The call was made from the Haleyville City Hall over to the town's police station, where it was answered by Congressman Tom Bevel on a bright red rotary dial phone. The idea of creating a unified emergency number had been brewing for years. In fact, the late 1960s were a time of innovation and recognition that public safety services needed a standardized, efficient way for citizens to get help in emergencies. Before 911, people were forced to remember local 7-digit phone numbers for the local police or fire stations, which was a delay that could cost lives. The Haleyville demonstration was groundbreaking, and it beat big players like AT&T to the punch. But it wasn't immediately national. The 911 movement grew state by state, and by 1987, about 50% of the U.S. population was covered. But it wasn't until 1999 that Congress officially recognized 911 as the national emergency number. It was a long journey, but Haleyville became a symbol of how a small idea could have a monumental national impact. Now, the actual red phone that was used to receive that first 911 call is now on display at the National Law Enforcement Museum in Washington, D.C. Visitors can see this iconic symbol of emergency communications innovation up close and learn from the history behind it. To the 911 community, that red phone isn't just a piece of equipment. It represents a turning point in public safety, where technology and community action came together to save lives. And it serves as a stark reminder of how far we've come and the pioneers who set that stage for today's advancements. I had the honor of being named as one of several Grand Marshals at the 50th anniversary parade down in Haleyville 7 years ago. And that's a moment that I'll cherish forever. Riding through the town on a warm summer's day during their 911 Day Festival in a classic open convertible with another 911 industry treasure sitting by my side, Steve Souter, we saw how proud that community remains today, celebrating their role in history. The entire town comes out for this parade every year, and they know that they've sparked something special, and that pride is contagious. But why does it still matter today? 57 years later, the legacy of that very first call is more important than ever. The evolution of 911 to next generation 911 builds on that pioneering spirit of innovation as we enable new features like text to 911, video transmission, as well as multimedia data sharing. We're still solving that very same problem, ensuring that citizens can quickly and efficiently reach the help that they need. But the work isn't done. Funding, education, and ongoing infrastructure development are all things that are crucial to fully realizing this new generation of emergency response. And as we honor this anniversary, let's commit to continuing that legacy of progress. I encourage everyone, whether you're in public safety, government, or just a concerned citizen, to sit back and reflect on just how far we've come and how much further that we can go. Get involved in advocating for NG 911 funding and public education. After all, it's more than just a number, it's a lifeline. That wraps up this episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on social media at Fletch 911, or you can visit 911tips.com for all of our past episodes and more. Stay safe. Thanks so much for listening. And if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.